Good morning. I'm out here checking the garden again. There really isn't much to pick today because I picked late yesterday, but I wanted to talk about how we water. So it all starts obviously with the main tap, but then see this here? This is a splitter. And right now, the only thing I need to water in this garden, well, that's not true. Things are starting to come out of the garden, so we need to water less, but we're working it out. Anyway, I got the splitter. So basically, there's two hoses that actually water the garden. This one here and this one here. And then this one just leads to a hose, a regular hose, in case we need it for something. So what I do is, and it's really best in the morning. I know there's controversy over this, but I've thought about it, and I do it in the morning because even though the ground is kind of wet right now, it's not completely wet, and it's going to dry out throughout the day. So I want to water in the morning. So you can see this right here. This is a short piece of hose, and it comes over to here. These are soaker hoses. So they go kind of slow, and they just kind of drip in. Can you see? They drip in. And this fabric right here, this is landscaping fabric, so the water will go through it if for some reason it doesn't go right into the hole where the plant is coming out. And between our rows where we don't want water going, we have a regular hose that brings over to the next row. Now you're going to see here, this is where the potatoes were. The soaker hose is still there, but it's not just going all over the place. It's just, I don't think we have a hose, a regular hose, the right length to go from the tomatoes down to where the other stuff is growing. So the straw gets watered, okay? And maybe a stray potato that was missed. But under this, where the broccoli and cabbage is, the soaker hose is under there again, and then it comes back out. And it's coming back down here to where our cucumbers and peppers and loofah is. And something's going on here. This is, maybe they're getting a little worn out. I don't know. But one of the things I have learned, and this may be the actual problem of what happened to my cucumbers, is at one point, I don't know why, but there was a kink here. So I think that the water just wasn't getting down far enough. So every day now when I water, well, not every day, when I do my watering, depending on the weather, I always make sure that it's coming all the way down here. So, and then I set a timer on my phone, and I do this because it's real easy to forget. And then, so over here, just so you can see, this is where it comes out of the spigot. So these splitters, I guess this is what they're called. Yes, this is leaking. But you can get these splitters for plumbing. See, it has off and on. So this one here goes to just a regular hose up on the deck. And this one goes down to what we call the creekside garden. Whoops. That's that one down there. And I'm watering the top right now because I'm going to work down there and I don't want to sit in the mud. But this is what we have going on right now so far. This is another thing we use for watering. It's a cistern. And this is crooked. Why is this like this? It's not good. It has this spigot on the bottom. You just turn it. And the water comes out. And what it does is, look, it collects the water that runs off of the roof of this building. And it does have kind of a gross lid on it to keep sticks and grass and whatever from going in there. I would not suggest drinking this, but all that gunk that gets in there from natural elements, we'll just say it like that. It's not anything too gross, but it's definitely not potable. That makes like an elixir. And we have two specific uses for this. The first one is when the seedlings grow, they grow in this building right here. There's a little, Candace has her own grow room, which maybe I'll show you that sometime too. But the seedlings start in there, and so we have the water here. And then when we're hardening off, what we do is, if you don't know, hardening off is moving them from inside to outside. You got to do it gradually so that they don't go into shock. We just set them here and water them outside for a little bit in trays before we put them in the garden. But yep, that's a cistern. I'm going to go ahead for these items, the soaker hoses, the cistern, the splitters for the hoses, all those things. I'm going to put links in the description so you can get them. Yes, it's an affiliate. I don't do that very often, and I don't usually talk about it, but these tools are very, very useful, and you know, can save you steps for one thing, but also you're using water that you don't have to pay for with the cistern. So